We don't know where Donald is.
Search and rescue for Donald.
Search and rescue for Donald. Here we go.
Good morning. I am out driving solo again today. Last night, after we couldn't get through to the ranch on the route that we were trying to use, and it was getting late, the sun was dropping down, we decided to just stop back at the previous night's campsite. We were all hot and sweaty and dirty. We wanted to get a swim in and just sort of collect our thoughts, figure out what our plan was going to be, figuring out what we're going to do about gas. Doesn't even look like a road, but it is definitely legitimately marked route. Wow.
So believe it or not, it is 7 in the morning and it is just below freezing. That's what it's been pretty much every night on this trip, just down around 29-30 degrees. I've been having some trouble with these little butane propane mix canisters, not getting it done in the cold, so I actually just took this to bed with me last night to keep it warm. So hopefully I can get my coffee made this morning. Whoa. Just about took my eyebrows off there.
If you go out this other direction, which we haven't ran, which is the other part of the route that we haven't ran yet.
Right, yeah.
My whole plan was to camp at that ranch, so.
What we decided on is that since I inadvertently spent time at the ranch that Jason was planning for us to go to today, and he wants to spend some time there filming and checking it out, and so does Shy, I am going to run into the nearest town, and that's a pretty long haul. I think I've got about 40 miles to get out of the backcountry here. But I'm gonna fuel up my truck. I'm gonna fill up my jerry can. We emptied one of my jerry cans into Jason's van this morning, and Jason also emptied his fuel container into his van. So I will refill my jerry can, I will refill Jason's fuel container, and if I run out of gas on the way, I still have reserve fuel that I can use to get me into the gas station today. That means today I am sort of heading out on through some new country. Now I'm following a route that we also had plotted as a possible way out of this area. So this actually is good reconnaissance that will keep the three of us needing to do it later in this trip.
Spotted a badger running around. I knew these lived out here in eastern Oregon, but this is the first time I've ever actually seen one in the wild. A member of the weasel family, badgers are largely nocturnal creatures, which is probably why I've never seen one before. I'm enjoying the more diverse variety of scenery on this drive. While I've been able to maintain a pretty decent speed, there have also been plenty of spots where I have to slow to a crawl. I'm largely not stopping to film as I have so many miles to log today. few hours have passed, but I still have a ways to go to get into the nearest little town.
Well, so I still have a little ways to go. My gas light has come on. It says I've got 17 miles to empty. I don't really know how many miles I have left to get to the gas station. It might be around that much. It looks like it might be a little more. The last time I looked, it said I had 8 miles to empty, and then the next time I looked, it should have been 7, but it's not even calculating anymore, it's just flashing. Yeah, looking at the scale on the map, it looks like 6-7 miles to where the gas station is, and that's about what it said I had left in gas, so well, I can see civilization. So here at the Owyhee grocery, I was able to get gas for the truck, gas for the fuel cans, propane for Shai's bottle because he was out of propane, and I even got a burger and fries. Don't tell Jason and Shai.
For the return back out to the canyon, I'm following yet a different route option. What I did this morning looked to be the fastest and most direct. The route I'm on now is part of what Jason plotted, which I imported into my Gaia GPS files. This initial stretch out of town has posed some challenges, with large sections of deep, salty ash similar to what Shai got stuck in yesterday. I've nearly gotten stuck a number of times already, so I'm keeping my focus on driving rather than filming, though I do regret not having the footage to show you. Since I didn't plan this route, I was not expecting to stumble out onto a paved road, but after hours of rough driving today,
I'm not complaining.
soon enough, the route gives way to a pretty steep, gnarly, rocky trail. It's much later in the day than I expected, and it turns out I'm driving 130 miles today, not the 80 I thought it was going to be. It's hot, I'm weary, and honestly, I'm just not motivated to stop and set up cameras on some of the challenging obstacles. I still have a long ways to go, and at this point, I just want to get this drive over with. I finally made it back to the crossing I traversed yesterday when I found that old ranch, which is where Jason and Shai were planning to set up camp tonight. arrived at camp only to discover that Shai is hiking around on the butte across the river. I'll tell you more about that in the morning.
It just would turn into a paste. Right. But I put too much in. So now I'm trying to get the
That is one imposing rock, and we're going to get a real close look at it today, because yesterday, Shai crashed his drone up there somewhere.
Today we are going to actually cross the river and set out on a sort of search and rescue mission to try and find Shai's drone. And it's not so much the drone itself, but he has been out here traveling for almost 3 weeks now, I think, and he's got all of his drone footage is on the card that's in that drone, and that's really what we're hoping to recover today.
So our campsite was down there. A rock face that we were seeing from camp is up along there, and it's deceiving. It looks like just this great big column, but in fact you can see that there's the ground sort of slopes up, and you can almost sort of get on up there, which may be what we have to do.
So this is the crossing I found a couple of days ago when I was roaming out here and chatted with the hunter who told me about it. This gets us around the impassable spot in the road that halted our progress in the first episode of this series. So we were already planning to cross here even without the drone search and rescue mission. This is definitely the deepest crossing we've encountered so far on this trip.
So we're right across from where we were camped last night, and see what we can do here. Hard to tell, but we're like looking sort of down almost on top of the rigs. That's how sort of vertically up we are. I spotted a mountain goat.
I guess I came the hard way.
I think you did. There you can see where we crossed the river. Here we're actually, it's deceiving from the side of camp. It just looks like this massive column that you could never get to the top of. But here we're actually near the top of it. Now, Shai's got the flight data, and
This is just a pin on Gaia at the last known location.
I've worked my way around sort of the other side, back around towards the front of the rock. There's last night's camp down there. There's the rigs down there. Those guys went a little further up into the rocks. So far, no luck anywhere. here's that little arch that we saw from the front. Oh, it's really cool. No drone, but it's really cool. Well, unfortunately, we are going to have to call it. Making our way back down to the rigs. We scoured about as well as we can scour this thing. That's unfortunate. And we're going to continue on up this side of the river to try and get up to Birch Creek Ranch, which has been the goal of this entire expedition all along. So
We're all ready?
Ready to go.
Okay, moving forward.
Stay tuned for the upcoming 4th and final episode, and thank you for watching.